This is part of the game. Like, people are always going to copy you. At the end of the day, the concept could be a steal. What they cannot steal is like what is behind the scene, like your coding, your execution, the way that basically you design it. Like what we have in our roadmap is like people have realized that they started copying us what we did 2 years ago. So they're so behind us and we continuously innovate, and they cannot keep up. So you have to be okay with it. So this is an opportunity for you guys to ask a question. And usually this Q&A is for the free community members, just to get the opportunity to get a demo of our software and also ask any questions they have from me.
Yes, and by the way, for all the Americans in here, I'm very proud of my ugly sweater, trying to be more American. I hope you all appreciate it because we are here in Sydney. It's super hot. Usually Atena is living in Sydney, but she just decided to move to Malibu, beautiful California. Could be worse than that, right? And if anybody is actually joining our mastermind before Christmas, you can still go and hang out with Atena and Malibu for New Year's Eve if anybody doesn't have any New Year's Eve plans yet. But yeah, let me know who has any questions for Atena. Could just raise your hand, or there's not too many people who wants to go first.
Yes, Seth.
100%. So Ron and I have been working really hard on figuring out how does our product, how is it differentiated? And I've been listening to the book 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel, and he talks about making it proprietary because we know how to sell, and I know we'll get sales, but at some point, what keeps someone else from copying what we do and doing better than we do? And so as we did our research, here's what we discovered. Super fascinating. So why do people not move into estate planning and get a trust and a will, regardless of their wealth amount? And 43% say that it does not feel urgent because it feels like, well, it's something I'll do when I get older. And when I have, it feels more urgent. I'm closer to my death. So that's one reason. The second is people believe they don't have enough assets to justify having one, even though without an estate plan, people go to probate court regardless of their asset level. So that's reason number two. That's 40%. And then the third reason is I just don't know where to start. And this is only 14%. And people feel very overwhelmed by the terminology. And so they just keep putting it off because they don't want to start. And so right now, coming up with a differentiator to make it so unique that no one else can do what we're doing is a challenge. Our number one answer to that solution is education, which both Ron and I are strong in. We've done a ton of it in the past with different companies that we've run, and we can educate. But there's nothing keeping a competitor doing the same thing and educating. The second piece would be, and notice these are all pre-purchase objections. So this is really kind of on the marketing side, like before someone even buys, oh, this is why I'm not going to buy. There's different objections on the back end. And those we found by looking at all the critical reviews of our top competitors, which are LegalZoom, Rocket Lawyer, and trustandwill.com. Those are three top competitors if you remove typical law firms, which are in a different category. So we're just thinking through how to create a product that no one can compete with. And I know, Atena, we had briefly talked about the software and stuff like that. We're still planning on moving forward with it. We have ideas for it. But is there a time in an industry where the truth is there isn't a way to differentiate the actual product, but it's more execution and you just do it better and faster than anyone, and that is your differentiation? Like, what are your guys' thoughts? And please feel free to poke holes and ask questions, but this is something we want to make sure we're set up right from the beginning.
Yeah. Thanks for asking, because obviously we have a software company and there's always people that copy us. Like, I literally this morning, one of our community members sent me a message that this person, it just copy you and they created something similar to you, and then they even use your name. So in terms of that, to be honest, like, this is part of the game. Like, people are always gonna copy you. You shouldn't be too much concerned about it. There is some sort of protection by IP, even if you don't go and trademark everything, yeah, because you cannot trademark everything when it comes to software, but you get protected by the IP of your company. So you have some sort of protection. But at the end of the day, just think of when the OpenAI launch, ChatGPT, and then after that, Google modeled them, then Gemini, that, and then Meta, and then there's a lot of new. How can OpenAI and go say you cannot create something like me? Because the concept could be a steal. Like, remember that anything that's a concept could be steal, but what they cannot steal is like what is behind the scene, like your coding, your execution, the way that basically you design it. at the end of the day, like with us, I'm not concerned at all. Like people all the time telling me this person trying to copy this person trying that, and I'm so cool and chill about it, to be honest, because we constantly innovate. Like what we have in our roadmap is like people have realized that they started copying us what we did 2 years ago. So they're so behind us, and we continuously innovate, 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 and they cannot keep up. At the end of the day, it's always become a company that is original and someone else do it. Look at the school and WAP, right? They're like a competitor, school, WAP,
Right.
circle.
Right.
Think about it. And there are other people that are trying to create like a model of school, like even Go High Level trying to model a school and copy a school, the entire business model. So you have to be okay with it. When you have a software company, you're gonna say, I'm the original. It's all about execution and it's all about the commercialization as well. Because a lot of these people go, like, for example, if you look at the school, the reason the school is very successful, it's obviously not just because of the platform, but also the commercializing aspect of it, the branding aspect of it, like partnering up with Hormozy, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
then Wapix comes, and then Iman Gadzhi come behind it, like then the brand gets strong. Like it's all a game of like branding, commercializing, and you know, you shouldn't be too concerned. Like this is part of the game. You have to be really cool with it. So
Yeah.
I have the
There were
people
three.
copy like, yeah, even when I was running my AI marketing accelerator, like one of the biggest Australian firm, is still the whole thing out of me. Like all of my prompts and doing this, even saying this is my own prompt because they become my students and we had to kick them out. And people coming to me and saying, hey, Atena, like he's promoting this and that. I'm like, I don't care. He can steal it, but he cannot have my brain. He cannot have my innovation. Like that's why I keep innovating.
Right.
It just like you have to be very cool with it. And this is an industry. People are steal from each other all the time. To some extent, you have protection around your IP. To some extent, that's something that I would suggest definitely to discuss with the like a specialist, software specialist, that a lawyer that his specialty has in software and IP. And to some like even if you don't trademark it, still your UX is going to be protected to some extent, even without
Right.
trademarking. So
Yeah.
UX is stuff like, yeah, you have some protection. Your coding, if there's still you have protection, no one can go steal your code, but the concept can be still. But don't care about the concept. It's not
Right.
about the concept. It's about branding, commercializing, and it's all about how you actually execute it. How is your market positioning with your product and services that you have? And at the end of the day, you just need to keep innovating. And the
Hmm.
competitors, never ever a competitor can keep up with original. If you look at everything, like even OpenAI now is the most successful. They head off everyone else. They launch a new
Right.
feature, then the back of it, the Google copy it, Meta copy it. Like it's kind of like, the speed, they launch something, they are 3 months behind.
Right. Yeah. So you said
All
the
that
three
answer the
things
question.
were, you said it was
Yeah.
branding, positioning. What was the other thing you said? Because I'm imagining, like, let's say there's 10 different estate
Yeah.
planning companies, and some are copying, they're all somewhat copying each other. Which one wins? Which one is going to crush everyone else? Like, what would you say were the key things that made
It's
that one?
execution, to be honest, it's execution. Like the product that you create, how is it going to fit into the market? Commercialization and execution fitting into the market, that's the main thing. Because like it's not just about the product. Like there's 1,000 different AI software, for example. Like a lot of them do similar thing, but how many of them actually survive?
Hmm.
Not many, if you think about it. And then people come to us and say, what is your secret sauce about that having so successful software company? The secret sauce is that the market,
Perseverance.
I come from the marketing and coaching background. I know it's not just about the tech, it's about how we can come up with the clients' issues that they have, the constraint that they have, and how we create the tech that fit onto that. But not everyone has that skill set. So they just go create the tech without I think about then the customer comes and say, I don't like it. This is not what I want.
Right.
And it's like a lot of things involved in that. And obviously commercializing it, branding it. So don't worry about it, to be honest, at all. Like this should be your least concern when you create a software company. Like, don't care.
Okay. Thank you. So what I got out of
Don't
that
feel
is
about it.
execute better than anyone else. And that's it, which is good.
Execute
So
and
it simplifies
commercialize.
it.
And
It simplifies
commercialize.
it to one thing. Yeah.
Exactly. Commercializing is very, very important.
Hmm.
Commercialize the product in the way that you always go from front end to back end, not back end to front end. So you come up with a design of, okay, what my clients want, what problem we are trying to resolve here, how we're going to execute that, how does the customer journey look like? Is our customer have tech, no tech? Like these are the sort of things you need to think about when create a software. Like one
Yeah.
of the things that is so attractive about our software that is no tech. Like even with the lead tech and all the integration that it has, it's still no tech. Like that's why it's very attractive because a lot of our consumers they don't have any tech background. We don't attract techie people. Like we
Mm.
are not N8N. Like if you look at N8Nomake.com, the audience, they're all developers. Okay. So they attracting techie people. That's completely different. What we attracting here is entrepreneurs that are necessarily, they're not techie, they don't have any background in tech, but they still want to execute marketing and
Right.
automation without actually being involved in the tech and learning process. So that's why it's attractive. So
Yeah.
there has been, everything has been designed around what we want to try to achieve here for our audience, what problem we're trying to resolve, and then we create the tech around it. And it's always challenged because everything that we innovate, when we brought the lead hacker, it was very, very hard for us to make it tech free with the integration. Like with
Mm.
lead hacker, if you guys check it out, you one click integration
On the back end, there's a
go high
lot going
level.
on. Yeah.
One click integration go high level. Like that was
Yeah.
such a battle with me with my development. Guys, we need to keep this tech free. And I was like, it's not possible. I was like, everything possible. This is the whole core messaging we have. We want to keep this product to be tech free, but we want to continuously innovate and bring more feature to it. So this is a core thing. So everything we develop is sitting around that core feature. It's very, very hard for anyone to come with the same vision, same avatar, same
Right.
problem they try to resolve, execute in the same way, commercialize in the same way, create a branding around it. And so yeah, that's that's basically my advice to you that don't be concerned, just be yourself, try to resolve a big problem and know how to market your product and go from front end to the back end, not the other way around. Because developers at the end of the day, developers, there has to be a product person with the exceptional experience in the software and commercialization that's sitting on the front to lead the development team.
Mm.
Development team, they're just coders. They need to be directed. They don't know what to do. They might
Yeah.
come up with the idea, but they don't understand customer journey. They don't
Right.
understand about what problem you're trying to resolve. And that's I think one of a lot of challenges with the software companies come around that people think is a software, you just find a developer and you have a software. They don't realize it's a lot more involved than just finding a developer to code for you. That's the easy part.
So I have a parallel question to follow along with that then. Same thing is, so as founders and developers of a new business, and you know there's competitors out there, should you evaluate, look at, compare and contrast, or just keep your head in the sand and do what your vision is and continue to build the way that you think it should look like?
I mean, definitely market research is important. We've done a lot of market research as well. Like our business model didn't necessarily come from any AI software, it came from GHL, Go High Level. Like even the creating this whole white label is we model in GHL. GHL is not an AI platform, it's a CRM. But I love the way that they could grow the business and we kind of modeling the business model. But 100% you guys need to look around to see what's around. And but that shouldn't be your main thing. If something exists already, don't think, oh, that or exists already. I'm not gonna do it. No one gonna buy from it. No, that's not the case. How many software exists in the world that only one of them actually become very successful billion-dollar company? I was actually getting coaching from Hormozy for a while when I was building my software. One thing that he told me, he was like, the software business is the hardest business in the world, and barely anyone survive. It's
Mhm.
just the hardest business model if you don't know what you're doing. And then if you think about it, how many people that just want to create AI software and how many of them actually make money? It takes them years to actually become like even start making money. They offer free trial for 6 months and majority of them are there to talk to it. So how much money do you make? Oh, we have 200 subscribers, but all free. When they come to the converting free to pay, they don't know how to do it. They never had any success, or they're just charging $47 a month, which takes them years to get their first $1 million. And then by that time, they get tired, they go out of money, they waste the time in finding an investor. No investor is prepared to do that, then they fail really badly. So this is kind of like a cycle keep repeating, and we see in the software companies. Um, so yeah, I wouldn't be worried about it. It's just a skill set that not many people have it, and I know what's involved because I know what's involved and I know how hard it is. That's why we're not concerned. Like even the big people that are trying to copy us, I was like, you have absolutely no idea. You have no tech background. You cannot copy me. You don't know. And finding a people with skill set is very hard too. If you want to find, like for example, the software engineers in OpenAI and Google and stuff, they are on the 50 to $100 million salary a year. This is the type of salary they're getting. So that's why I'm not concerned because I know how hard it is. We could literally create a software in a week. Creating software is easy part. We actually, for one of our inner circle client, we built him a software, literally in a week. Like that's not that difficult, but it's not about building the software. It's just a lot more involved to make a software successful and actually, yeah. I hope that answered the question. So if I were you, God, I'm not worried about competition at all. Like competition is a good thing, actually, to be honest. If someone's
Mhm.
going to steal your idea, it's a
Sure.
compliment to you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Everyone trying
flattery.
to steal me. Like I don't care.
And
I
then
don't. I care less.
and the second term of endearment is they want to sue you too.
Especially in the US, right?
Exactly.
Litigious as you know what.
I suggest
Okay,
you to get a brand really strong and trademark it now early on. And if anyone tries to steal it, don't sue them yet until they become really big and then go and sue them. Because then you can get billions of dollars out of them, not when they are very fresh.
We'll
This
make
is the
that part of the
advice that was
business
given to
plan.
me by my lawyer anyway, because there's a couple of people that really copy me and I can go sue them right now, but I'm not doing it yet.
not yet.
No, not yet. Get me, make so much money, then all the money you need to give it back to me because you're not protecting my IP and this is what it is.
Yeah.
Rachel, it's good to see you.
Hi.
You look sleepy.
Yes, I looked at my phone. You went, "Where are you?" I was like, "Oh my God, I forgot." So
Yeah, I'm in
anyway, go ahead.
California. So for us, it's 11:50 now.
Yeah. Well, my question really is around AI agents
Mm-hmm.
and how to build them. I have no idea where to start. What would one do?
So I know that you sent me a message with it. Could you just give a bit of context? Building AI agents is just a very broad topic. What you're trying to
Yeah,
achieve?
okay. Sure. So I run a LinkedIn marketing agency and I'm looking to scale. And one of the things that people want is for their lead generation to be kind of, handled for them. But in order for me to be able to do that at scale, I can't do all of it. So I need some way of managing conversations in DMs on automation. Now, it's like there are already software that exists that does part of that. But usually when someone responds, then the software stops doing the automation part. And so it then becomes a human part. So I'm trying to figure out. So I spoke to a lady called Phoebe Kuhn. I don't know if you know her. Have you heard of her? And she's like, people are building AI agents to do this lead generation part. You need to do that. And I'm like, great, but I don't know where to start with that. So that's why I asked
So
you.
you got an agency that provide lead generation service to businesses?
Mm-hmm. And
And lead
content
generation
and lead generation, yeah.
through what channel? Through Instagram, LinkedIn, or what?
LinkedIn.
Just the LinkedIn. So you're working for
Yeah.
B2B.
Yes.
So who's your best audience or avatar?
What do you mean, sorry?
Like
You're talking
what
about my dream
company?
client, ICP, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that I mean, it's kind of just business owners, CEOs, like founders who have got, probably like at least minimum 250K and above revenue. Probably got a team or a product. I've been working with insurance agents, financial advisors, that kind of thing at this point.
Okay. And the biggest constraint in leads, they need to get cheaper lead or they need to get more leads?
Well, at this point, the purpose of the service is to build their audience, and you've got to do that through connecting and then starting conversations for them to then get a lead from there to book in a call. Bye, Janine.
No, it was Jenny. It's not Jenny. So,
Denise,
okay, the reason I ask you this question, obviously, I'm trying to see what problem you're trying to resolve. Is it cheaper leads? Is it more lead? And then once
it's
you find a lead for them, do you
it's converting the leads.
convert the lead to appointment? Is that
Yeah,
do you promise any certain number of appointments?
no.
Okay. And how much do you charge for that service?
I don't really want to tell people how much I'm charging, sorry. I want to share that.
That's okay. Um, so obviously, like with whole thing, we have a lead generation tool that generate the leads B2B. So Jenny, we need to demo her the B2B campaign in Litaker, how
Sure.
you get the B2B so she can actually use it for herself or her clients. And then they maybe you can share the screen and then I can explain as you're sharing I'm showing a B2B campaign. So with the B2B we have a lead generation tool with AI. We actually generate leads for you based on the high intent buyers in search engines. So how it works is that if someone goes search, if a company, let's say I'm the CEO of the company X, and I go in Google search for your services, your client services, whatever your clients, let's say insurance, they provide insurance services, we could capture them within a few minutes of them searching, including all of the financial data and also the LinkedIn. And then how we do it, then we connect the lead tag, we integrate it with the LinkedIn, and we can also integrate it with like any email marketing platform. We could integrate it with Meta, and that's how we're able to actually monetize those leads. So the leads that we generate,
Apollo do that already, though.
sorry,
Doesn't Apollo IO do that already? Similar
Apollo
thing.
gives Apollo gives you dead leads, not live leads. The leads that we give in a high intent buyer searching for particular services right now. It's not a database. That's the
Right.
difference. So we
Okay.
used to use the Apollo ourselves, like pre-AI. And what we did is that a further step ahead of the Apollo. Apollo give you a bunch of leads. Those people are not necessarily looking for any particular services, or they may be looking 5 years ago. That's why they're
Mm.
not high intent buyer. That's why it doesn't work. I don't know actually any company to today that have success with Apollo because the leads are not high intent buyer. But what we did
Right.
that now we use AI technology to be able, we have a huge database, millions of users, but it's US only, and we are able to capture those users as they search for particular keywords. And you can set up the keywords as well, and you can integrate with LinkedIn and anything and to omnichannel market to them. And we're selling it for as cheap as 30 cents to $1.90. B2B $1.90, but the B2C is 30 cents to 90 cents. So that's basically a lead generation platform that resolve all of the issues with lead. And that's the latest technology. So there are some of our clients that we help them to launch an AI agency and we're making a lot of money out of these. They have their own markup. They go and some of them they go sell leads only, like they don't, there's no fulfillment. They just get the leads from us in the spreadsheet, they pass it on. They said the lead
Yeah.
anywhere from 10x markup, sometimes to 100x markup. They have
Right.
their own markup, but some of them they
Okay.
also provide like a full-on services. They get the leads from us, but they also go and send the email copies, and it also goes to the meta ads, which everything could be done by the software. So like a full
Okay.
marketing platform. That Jenny, maybe
Great.
you can share about how to write the email copy for the cold outreach and show also the integration as well, how to integrate with
Sure.
the. But that's basically it. Like it's completely make all of the other techie softwares redundant. Completely make it
Hmm.
redundant. Because I don't know if you're listening, like we created the software around to be tech free and everything be easy execution from lead generation to marketing. So yeah, just have a look. If you like the software, you can buy the software and try it out. See if that works for your business model.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
But other than that, if you want to go down the path of some automations and stuff, end, there's one thing that you could use, make.com. You could create those agents that do the automation, but you still it doesn't create your leads. So you're still going to
Mhm.
have the issue of that whole lead thing. Even
Yeah.
if that makes it a bit of automated, you still don't know how to write on the email copy. You still don't know how to nurture them. You don't know how to create the leads. So it's kind of like does 10-20% of the job. It's not like a whole puzzle as a whole to be able for you to provide that service to your client as A to Z. Um,
Yeah.
but that's basically it. Yeah, we used to use N8 and we still use N8 and stuff for some agent building and stuff, but we kind of making all of that redundant with our software. As we keep innovating more and more, then we're making more of the software redundant. So we bring it
Okay.
as like in-house.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Okay,
but I mean,
cool. Yeah.
in terms of the
Sounds like a
pricing and
good
stuff,
solution.
to give you a bit of concept about how our students do the pricing, they do anywhere from 5 to 10 to 20K setup fee to provide the services. I'm talking about USD, and then they charge 2 to 5K monthly returner to
Hmm.
lead generation services to businesses. So this is a
Yeah.
proven model, and we have a lot of case study and testimonial out of this model. We call it like a triple A agency or AI advertising agency. You become a specialized in the marketing lead generation. Your target
Yeah.
market this is now making minimum anywhere from 250K to 5 million. That's your target market, and you go 10, 20x the businesses by this technology. It's easy learning. It's usually a couple of weeks for you to completely learn everything and explore it and then start providing service. And then after that, you just on the downhill. So
Okay, great. Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
yeah. So if you guys don't have any other question, I'm gonna hop off and Jenny gonna hang around for another half an hour. She can show you guys a demo of the software, even Mastermind and stuff like that. And yeah, so then let me know any more questions, guys.
question.
Yes.
Atena, as you built AIpreneurs, what's the biggest mistake you made? And if you could go back and just do it different, what would you do since you learned from that mistake?
Oh my gosh, so much.
The biggest.
So many mistakes. Only one, the biggest.
Mhm.
Um, I think for me the biggest was, to be honest, like trusting the devs. Because as I told you, we had to rebuild our software 3 times from scratch.
The developers of the software. Is that what
Yeah.
you said? Hmm.
Just trusting what they're saying. Like,
Yeah.
for example, we always wanted to have a white label as a kind of vision for this company because that's what's going to take a company to $1 billion plus white label, and that's very complicated. And then when we build the software, like I told them about the vision, but I wasn't serious about it. I didn't go through the details. I said, okay, we'll make it to be white label friendly, and that was absolutely lie. That's why it's actually cost us hundreds of thousands to rebuild everything again, the entire architecture, because the white label is very, very different to be able to allow us to what we want to do.
Right.
So I guess like just trusting devs and what they're saying, because a lot of times they say something to keep you happy and they don't care about, okay, 6 months time you found out that I was absolute BS.
Yeah.
And so what we did to try to avoid that happening, I got a product lead that someone is a techie to be on top of the developer so we can QC everything that developers do now to make sure that the vision and the plan is setting up with the tech. So
Right.
that resolved that issue, but it took me a year to find a product lead that actually have that expertise. Um, but I think if I look back, I see the importance of understanding that the devs are only 10% of the job.
Hmm.
Why
So
didn't you use AI to help program it?
we completely wipe code everything. So
Mm.
we use Cursor a little bit, not hugely. Cursor obviously help a little bit of our developers to some feature of the software stuff they could launch a bit faster, but not heavily. Like we're not like a completely 100% Cursor written platform because the way that we especially design a new architecture on the flexibility of the white label and everything happening, we had to wipe code it. Um, but I don't know if you guys heard of the Cursor. Have you heard of it?
Never heard of it.
Yeah. Your developers probably know about it and they're just not telling you they're using Cursor. That was a lot. I think the first version of the software that I built it was heavily on Cursor and I didn't know about it.
Hmm.
That's why unfortunately it wasn't the way that we wanted. And we started the other issue that was we started scaling so rapidly and we got like 500 active users in a couple of months. That was very unexpected. And then we had a lot of issues with the server to be able to handle that much volume. And that was the second time we rebuilt the software again because the architecture wasn't designed for scale and it
Hmm.
was all on Cursor. So this sort of thing, you guys should be aware of it and be very careful. I mean, at the end of the day, you could fail and you just rebuild it again, but it would be nice if you learn from some other people's mistake and you don't have to put yourself hundreds of thousands every time.
That's why
That's
we're
why we're
here.
here.
Yeah, every lesson is cost me a couple of $100,000.
Right.
But it's okay though. I'm so proud of it. I can now become a very good consultant for software companies and help them to scale because I've been there already. So it's yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, and happy Christmas. Thanks, guys.